Hey fight fans, welcome back to the Fight Book. This is the Indian accent guy, and today we do not have a lot of fight news, but what we have is important. We have an official fight announcements from the UFC along with some non-UFC fight announcements, updates from Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2, as well as updates from the White House card, and then current undefeated PFL champion shot 5 times in Dagestan. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. First, let's talk about this weekend's card, and we got the first face-off of the fight week between Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway trilogy. Then we got the official confirmation from MMA Junkie that Movsar Evloev indeed pulled out of his fight against Aaron Pico from UFC Abu Dhabi card. I told you about this news yesterday that this fight is being moved to the UFC 319 card, but still the second half of this news that this fight is indeed being moved to the 319 card is not confirmed by any official big source. So postponement of this fight is still a rumor, but if it gets confirmed, I will let you know. Then UFC's return to Rio de Janeiro on October 11 has its first fight booked. It is a heavyweight fight between the Brazilian Jonathan Diniz versus Mario Pinto. Diniz, who is currently 3-1 in the UFC, riding a 1-fight win streak, had made his debut with a performance of the night round 2 knockout over Austin Lane, and Mario Pinto is now also coming off his performance of the night round 2 knockout debut win over Austin Lane. After the news break, UFC featherweight Myron Santos calls for the UFC to give him a fight on October 11th in Rio because that is his hometown. Santos is 3-0 in the UFC, coming off a career best performance versus Sodiq Yusuff. Other than Santos, Chris Curtis also says at Ariel Helwani show that he would now love to fight against Vicente Luque after making a successful welterweight debut this past weekend at UFC Nashville. And the news just broke when I was about to upload this video. Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida is now finally official. This fight was agreed and Jailton Almeida had confirmed that they both will be fighting each other, and it's just a matter of when they are fighting. Now it is confirmed that this fight will be happening at UFC 321. It is the first fight announced for UFC 321 Abu Dhabi, and indeed it is a massive fight. Alexander Volkov, who was riding a 4-fight win streak, is coming off a loss to Cyril Gane. That was a controversial loss, and even Dana White said that he thought Volkov should have got the victory. On the other hand, Almeida is 8-1 in the UFC, coming off his 2 straight first-round finishes after losing to Curtis Blades. This fight will definitely give us the new title contender for the UFC heavyweight belt. Now we move on to Alex Pereira. Pereira in his recent video can be seen as 243 pounds heavyweight. He is fat, out of his shape, and it seems he doesn't give a fuck about his belt anymore. He is just doing Jon Jones thing with Ankalaev, who is consistently demanding a fight and is ready to defend his belt against anyone. Pereira had previously told the media that he wants to fight before November, but now, as per Ankalaev, he says he won't be ready until February, so it is rare to see a challenger decking a champion. Now, if we talk about the UFC White House card next year, Dana White says this will be a full proper card and it will be a pay-per-view but for invites only. He says this will be the best card we have ever done to date, just like the Sphere on steroids. Conor McGregor, who has showed interest in headlining this card, is also back in the testing pool and plans to fight out his UFC contract as per David Feldman. Moreover, Jon Jones also called Dana White and Hunter and says that he is back in the testing pool and he also wants to headline UFC White House card. Although Dana had said in an interview that we could see both of these mega fights on the same card at White House, but I don't think this can happen. Anyway, Kenneth McKinney calls his shot at Michael Chandler to see who's the best first rounder in the UFC. They have 27 combined first round finishes in their MMA careers. Now let's talk about some non-UFC fight announcements, and first news is that Tony Ferguson and Molly McCann are both moving to the boxing ring. Tony announced that he is set for a boxing debut And 38-year-old Molly McCann's promoter said that we will be able to see McCann fighting for the belt in 2 years. Moreover, from the BKFC, we have three fight news. First, it is announced that Yoel Romero will make his BKFC debut on September 12th against an opponent to be announced. Feldman says that many BKFC fighters have already declined Yoel Romero fight. Anyway, the second fight announcement is from Mike Perry. Conor McGregor says that Mike Perry will be fighting on October 11th in BKFC against an opponent to be announced. And then their $25 million openweight tournament will start in March 2026 and will end in March 2027. Then from Karate Combat, they're holding a 2 nights big event in Miami this weekend. The first night on July 18th, Karate Combat 55 will be headlined by men's bantamweight title. Then in the undercard, there will be a heavyweight tournament where former UFC heavyweight Rubeles Despagne will fight Saulo Cavalry, who is a former Glory kickboxing champion. The winner of this tournament will get the heavyweight title shot. Then their next night, Karate Combat 56 will be headlined by their lightweight champion Shazib Rin, and for the vacant women's flyweight title, where Alex Pereira's sister Alain Pereira will be fighting Fanny Pelompi to become the first Karate Combat women flyweight champion. And then lastly, undefeated 18-0 PFL lightweight champion Timur Khizriev was shot in Makhachev, the capital of Dagestan, Russia. He was reportedly hit by 5 bullets. Luckily, as per his manager, Timur's life is not in danger and he is apparently alive but still in surgery. Pray for him, and that's all in this video. Now you are again completely up to date with the fight world. Hit the like button, show your support by sharing your feedback in the comment section, and then do whatever you want.